Some detractors that will push back on me and say, you know, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of black people.
That's what we're seeing. We're seeing this attempt at this totally insane, unsustainable dynamic. It is just falling apart because it was always destined to. Okay, we've already heard about the Trump DOJ prosecuting a Democrat for trying to storm an immigrant detention center. Well, it's also been announced that they are investigating as well the mayor of Chicago for something entirely separate. They're investigating the mayor of Chicago because the mayor of Chicago admitted to engaging in racial discrimination in hiring. So here is Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, speaking at a church over the weekend. And just listen to how absolutely blatant and shameless this guy is. Listen to this.
Some detractors that will push back on me and say, you know, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of black people. No, what I'm saying is when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else. We are the most generous people on the planet. I don't know too many cultures that have play cousins. That's how generous we are. We just make somebody a family member, right? That's just how we are. And so business and economic neighborhood development, the deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief operations officer is a black man. Budget director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man. And I'm laying that out because when you ask, how do we ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business?
Okay, so is this a crime? Did this scumbag just confess to a crime? Yes, obviously. It's not even close to borderline. There's not even an interesting discussion to be had about it. These are civil rights violations all day long. He just confessed on camera as an elected official that he prioritizes hiring members of his own race, and he prioritizes them because he thinks they're better people. You know, he thinks they're more generous. This is not legal at all. I mean, he should be removed from office and imprisoned. This is a crime that he's confessed to. And, you know, I can buy that oftentimes it's difficult to prosecute the anti-white racists in government, even though there's so many of them. And sometimes it might be practically difficult to do because it's hard to prove that they had racist motives. Like you can observe all day that that all they do is hire black women, you know, in all these positions. I mean, you could, so without Mayor Johnson saying any of that, you could look at at the government that he's assembled and all the positions that he's appointed, and you could see that it's like nothing but black women, and it's like there's no way that happened accidentally. But it's hard to prove intent. Well, in this case, Brandon Johnson has done us the great favor of offering a full confession on camera. He specifically told us that he hires black people over white people because he thinks his own people, quote unquote, are more generous. So it's right there. I mean, he needs to go to prison, not just removed from office, prison. Now, here's the other part that goes without saying, but I will say it. And I hate using this phrase because I know I sound like an impotent, you know, Republican pundit going, imagine if the roles were reversed. Can you imagine if the roles were reversed? But, well, yeah, imagine if the roles are reversed. I mean, and this is important because it helps us to understand what's happening in the culture right now. So let's game this out. Let's imagine that, say, Andrew Cuomo becomes the next mayor of New York. And then imagine that he goes on camera and says, imagine Andrew Cuomo, if he's the next mayor of New York, saying, you know, when you hire our people, white people, we always look out for everyone. We white people are the most generous people on the planet. Our people are so generous. And so, yes, the deputy mayor is a white man. The Department of Planning and Development is a white man. Chief operations officer is a white man. Senior advisor is a white man. And I do this because this is how you ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business. I mean, if Andrew Cuomo said that, he would not survive the day, politically, professionally, maybe even physically. There would be riots in the street. It would be the only thing the media talked about for the next 7 weeks. If your mattress has the supportive qualities of wet cardboard and you wake up each morning feeling like you need an on-call chiropractor, well, it's time to check out Helix Sleep. Improve your nights and start genuinely sleeping well so you can wake up each morning feeling like you actually got some rest and you're ready to take on whatever the day has in store for you. I never realized how badly I needed a new mattress until I finally got one. I've had my Helix mattress for a while now. Couldn't be happier with it. It does incredibly well with temperature regulation, which really eases some of those annoying middle-of-the-night wake-ups. Keeping cool and comfortable is essential as the temperature continues to warm up and we head into summer. What makes Helix different is they don't just sell you a random mattress. They actually match you with the perfect one for your body and sleep style. Whether you're a side sleeper, back sleeper, or somewhere in between, they've got you covered. All you have to do is take their sleep quiz and find your ideal match. Right now is actually the perfect time to upgrade your sleep because Helix is offering a fantastic Memorial Day sale. Go to helixsleep.com/Walsh to get 27% off site-wide plus a free bedding bundle, which includes a sheet set and a mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. That's helixsleep.com/Walsh for 27% off site-wide plus a free bedding bundle with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. helixsleep.com/Walsh. Everybody would condemn him loudly. Everybody on all sides. But Mayor Johnson says this exact thing, and the reaction is not anywhere close to that. I mean, most people just accept it. The media accepts it. The media celebrates it, if anything. In fact, if a white politician can't even speak highly of white people in this way, even if he's complimenting other races to the same degree. Now, Brandon Johnson explicitly said that black people are the most generous. They are better than other races. That's what he just said. But a white politician couldn't even say, like, yeah, black people are great and very generous, and Hispanic people are great and they're very generous and good people. And, you know, white people too are great people and they're very generous. Even that would be a major controversy. We all know that. A white politician, a white person in general, is not allowed to praise his own race at all. Period. Like, you cannot say something positive. To use the word white people in a sentence followed by something positive is considered deeply controversial at best. Meanwhile, you've got Brandon Johnson, who's not some Twitter troll, right? He's the mayor of one of the biggest cities in the country, and we hear overt, explicit anti-white bias. So here's the point. This is not sustainable. You know, the dynamic where every race and ethnicity on the planet advocates explicitly for themselves, shows blatant favoritism, often explicit racism, while at the same time, white people are told that they can't even notice their own race at all. That's just not sustainable. It cannot work this way. You cannot have black politicians openly announcing that they favor their own race, while at the same time insisting that white people must have absolutely no positive feelings about their own race at all. It doesn't work. And before we even get into the question of whether this is such a dynamic is actually desirable, which it isn't, the more salient point is that it's not possible. It's not possible to sustain this kind of selective colorblindness. It can't work that way. It just can't. A society cannot sustain this kind of wildly out of balance standard. Everything will level out. Everything flattens out eventually. It cannot be avoided. So when you hear people, even on the right, and there's a lot of this on the right in particular right now, lamenting the rise of white racial consciousness. Well, yeah. I mean, what did you expect? It's actually inevitable. Now, I'm not sure that a society without racial tribalism is possible. There's no evidence on the planet of such a thing ever really existing. But I know for certain that you can't have a society where every race is tribal except one. That just can't exist. It just cannot. It's not a thing that can exist. And given that it's a wildly out of balance standard, it's also not desirable. We shouldn't even be trying to make such a society exist where there's this wildly out of balance standard applied. Whatever the standard is, it should be applied to everybody. So, a society where Black people and Asians and Hispanics and indigenous, all races and ethnicities, talking about how great they are and how proud of themselves they are, while white people, if they talk about their whiteness at all, are only allowed to say negative things about it. That is not a desirable goal in the first place. And again, for the millionth time, it can't happen. It cannot work that way. It just can't. This is crazy. This is insane. And regardless of what you want or don't want, here's the other thing. Standards need to be applied equally, period. No matter the standard. And if you like the standard, then you should want the standard to apply to everybody. So if the standard is that, it's acceptable for a person, even an elected leader, to speak highly of their own race and to refer to their race as our people, as Brandon Johnson does. If you like that standard, right? If you listen to that clip and you go, yeah, I think that's how people should talk. Well, then again, you should want that to be applied to everybody. If you don't like that standard, if you listen to that clip and you go, that's horrible, I don't want people talking that way. Well, again, you should want the standard to be applied to everyone, because the only way to expose a bad standard is for it to be equally applied. So, however you feel about the standard, however you feel about it, the solution cannot be, okay, well, I don't like it, but yeah, we'll let them do it, but not them over there. Nope. Doesn't work. Cannot do it that way. You cannot have a society that works that way. It just can't happen. So, and so that's what we're seeing. We're seeing this attempt at this totally insane, unsustainable dynamic. It is just falling apart because it was always destined to. And what's the answer on the other side of it? Well, as I say about everything, one standard for everybody. That's the answer. One standard for everybody. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.